He was listed as a John Doe. I went inside the emergency room and I asked the doctor if I was to give him a description of some of my son's parts of his body, would he be able to tell me if that was my son that was laying behind a curtain? So I described the scar on his chest and I described the tattoos in detail. And he went back behind the curtain. He must have looked and saw that it was my son. I could have just died. You know, like my whole heart was pulled out my chest. I was just like all over the place. You know, I was in denial. You know, I just couldn't believe what happened. I thought I was dreaming. You know, it was just so many things that was going on with me. I made the initial phone call and I went to Safe Horizon, and you know, that that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. She was exceptional. She's compassionate, caring. She really knows what she's doing. I swear by Safe Horizon. I went in there, I had one-on-ones with her when I first started. It branched from the one-on-ones to group. The groups were very helpful. I always believe that, you know, if you're going through something and there are other people that are going through the same thing that you're going through, it helps you out a lot.
I was born in New Jersey, born and raised in New Jersey, in a very religious home. And when I was 16 years old, my mother kicked me out of the house because she found out that I was queer. It was probably like around like 9:30 at night, and she just got back from church. And I remember refusing to go to church that day, and it was on a Wednesday, and she came back and she sat down at the kitchen table and she was like, "We have to talk." And the conversation went, I talked to the pastor. He thinks that is really unhealthy for you to be here, that you're going to infect like Veronica and Jermaine, who are my brother and my sister. And I just think that it will be better for everybody if you're not here anymore. And I was like, "Where am I supposed to go?" And she was like, "I don't know, but you can't be here because I need to protect my family." I just like got up and I grabbed my jacket and a hat and I just like walked out the house, and when I was walking down the steps of the back door, like I was gonna turn back around and walk back in, but then I heard like locks click. I know for me, like when I was homeless, there was like days when I wouldn't eat, or when you would go into like a public bathroom and like drink water out the faucet because like no one will give you a cup of water, or you would like sleep outside in the rain and literally be sleeping outside in the rain and wake up in the morning and you're soaking wet, your shoes are wet, your clothes are wet, and then you have to walk around until you get dry or go into a place and hopefully you'll dry off enough. When the lady was like taking me around, showing me the stuff, and she's like, "You could do laundry here," and I'm like, "I could wash my clothes? These clothes haven't been washed in like months." And she was like, and we like make food and you can eat over here. And she was like, "And we do acupuncture right here." And I'm like, "What?" And like, she was like, "Yeah, if you like to do art, we have like this art set up." I've just never seen spaces like these before. I didn't even know that they existed. When you're homeless, you're constantly thinking about like, like food, shelter, like just your basic needs, like all the time. You don't have time to think about what you want to do 5 years from now, 2 years from now, a month, a week, like even the next day. Like you're always in the now. And so like having a case manager to kind of like be like, yeah, you're in the now right now, but like where do you see yourself down the future, like where you want to be tomorrow, where you want to be the next day, like where do you want to be an hour from now, and kind of like helping you kind of like get out the now to start planning for what's next, like to like get you off the streets, to get you housing, to like get you to a point where like you are able to take care of yourself, to are able to kind of like move easier through this world and stuff, and not feel so kind of like different from everyone else.
This happened on a Thursday. I finally got in contact with this young lady's father on Friday. He finally got her to admit what she did by Saturday. And Saturday evening, I saw her with her dad and my fiance. We all met up, and she admitted to what she admitted to doing this to the girls. And Sunday, I had called the cops. During a counseling session with Josh, my oldest daughter told us that she would have nightmares sometime. And the theme would always be that she'll be home and somehow this young lady would somehow sneak back into the house. And she would feel helpless and hopeless and not being able to protect her little sister. We definitely addressed it during counseling sessions that it was quite normal for her to feel that way because it did happen in her home, and I was there, her father was there, and her grandmother was there, but we had no clue this was happening. But that is not the case now because we all know what happened and we're here to protect her. And by the time counseling was done, she said she no longer had those nightmares anymore. The name Safe Horizon definitely fits. It's a great name. My children definitely felt safe going there. They knew they were there for something serious, and they knew they were going to counseling, but the environment took the edge off of that. They definitely felt safe.